welcome to today's edition of Editorials, a broadcast from Canada. My name is Sandra Asante. Today we're looking at the new U.S. sanctions targeted Eritrea over Ethiopia's Tigray war. So stay tuned, I'll be back after the break. You're welcome back from the break. So the United States on Monday imposed new sanctions over Ethiopia's deadly target Tigray-hit conflict as hundreds of thousands of people face famine conditions under a government blockade. The U.S. has called the surge in fighting spread into other parts of the country. The Treasury Department in a statement said the Chief of Staff of the Defense Forces of neighboring Eritrea, Philippos Wode Yohannes, was sanctioned under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act for leading an entity caused of the despicable act, including massacres, widespread sexual assault, and execution of boys. The statement again called on Eritrea to remove its soldiers from Ethiopia's Tigray region permanently. The 9-month war have killed thousands of people and left observers shocked as Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, teamed up with former enemy Eritrea to wage war on the Tigray forces, with civilians not spared. Sources of witnesses have described to the Associated Press abuses such as gang rapes, the destruction of health centers, as well as burning of crops and forced expulsions. Eritrea were often accused of some of the worst abuses. Ethiopia's government denied their presence in the Tigray for months. The Eritrean Defense Forces have purposely shot civilians in the street and carried out systematic house-to-house searches, executing men and boys, and have forcibly also evicted Tigrayan families from their residence and taken over their houses and property, the new U.S. statement has said. Eritrea's foreign ministry in a statement called the accusations unacceptable and challenged the U.S. to bring the case to an independent adjudication if it indeed has facts to prove its false allegations. Eritrea also shares a border with the Tigray region, and it has been described by human rights groups as one of the world's most repressive nations. The U.S. earlier this year signaled it was also losing patience with Ethiopia's Africa's second most populous country, suspending millions of dollars in aid to a key security ally in the Horn of Africa and imposing visa restrictions on unnamed Ethiopians involved in the war. The Tigray forces have since retaken much of the Tigray region of 6 million people, forcing Ethiopia and Eritrea soldiers to retreat and regroup. But the United States is concerned that large number of Eritrean defense forces have re-centered Ethiopia after withdrawing in June, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said in a statement. The Tigray forces have now crossed into Amhara and Afar region, ignoring calls from the U.S. and the United Nations to withdraw and vowing to press as far as the capital, Addis Ababa, to end the hostilities. Hundreds of thousands of people in Amhara and Afar have fled their advance, some alleging abuses against civilians. Meanwhile, the Ethiopian government has urged all capable citizens to war, and it has again cut off the Tigray region with phone, internet, and banking services down, and truckload of humanitarian aid almost at this standstill. Just 7% of the needed aid is reaching the region, and food aid inside Tigray has now run out, the U.S. Agency for International Development said last week. On the defensive, Ethiopia's government has rejected international meddling and accused humanitarian groups of arming or otherwise supporting the Tigray forces. The U.S. sanctions represent new pressure to stop fighting, allow unrestricted access to Tigray, and engage in dialogue. But Ethiopia's government has declared the Tigray leadership who long dominated the Tigray's government before Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed came to power, sidelined them and claimed that they are a terrorist group. And the Tigray forces have laid out several conditions for talks, including the resumption of basic services to the region. Thank you so much for watching today's editorial. This is where I end it for today. My name is Sandra Asante. Do have a blessed day. I'll see you some other time.